No. Let's not talk about finances right now. Let's bring up our guest. Like these two. Like I'm not gonna. I was just listening to their original podcast. We're in our 300s or something like that, and it makes us feel like we should quit. Like these guys have been doing podcasting since 2005. Like I think, unless there's something about their episode codes that I'm not understanding, they're like in their mid 2000s.
Is that right?
On their original podcast, which is Keith and the Girl, right? Let's just bring them up and we can ask them all of the questions that I don't know.
I kind of want to stay in bed, but because of the blanket and my wool suit, I'm roasting in here. It's really warm.
Well, you do what you want. I mean, let's bring up. I want to make sure I don't fuck up their names, but let's bring up our new friends, Keith Malley and Chemda Khalili.
All right, Chemda and Keith.
Hi, Keith. Hi, Chemda.
Oh, wow.
Jeff, can you shake his hand for me?
I know. You know what's weird is it changes my behavior too. Well, you have a scab on your forehead, and you have to, like. I feel like I owe people this. I have to tell people I have shingles because
like normally you'd be in a 3-piece suit, and
normally I'd at least shake hands or hug or whatever anyone else wanted to do. But like it changes my behavior because I don't know what people's relationship with the word shingles is, and then you meet someone and they say, "I have it." All right.
Our relationship is now Dan Harmon. So
yeah. Anyways, I met you guys awkwardly rolling out of an Uber with a gallon of green tea and a bag of hard-boiled eggs.
And 25 eggs. I thought it was funny how Jeff asked you, so it's not contagious, is it? Is it too bad that I'm here after the fact? And then, no, I don't think so. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's how we try to have safe sex in 2018, right?
No,
you're good, right?
Not.
I'm good. Okay.
I'm mostly made of Fernet Branca right now. I don't think viruses can live in the horrible, caustic environment of my blood system.
I mean, the only thing you could do is, I mean, I agree with you. Like, nothing really that lands on me can really set up shop there. Like, they'll be like, what the fuck is this Irish rock garden?
When you first saw it, did you think, oh, great, another blackout? Or do you really think it is medical?
I thought that because I had a massive head, not massive for a writer, a head wound. I had a blackout kind of weekend at Tribeca, and so I thought that because since I couldn't remember how I had injured my head, and then I had this I started feeling this pain going down half of my face, and I was like, oh, I guess since there's no such thing as coincidences, I must have passed out and smacked my head on the nightstand and maybe just slept there like a cartoon drunk for an hour, or a real life drunk.
Logical thing that could have happened.
Yeah, I was piecing it together, and I was like, maybe I fell down, slept on something weird that the hotel staff doesn't wash as much as the pillowcases or something, and then then I could see. I looked close in the mirror after I got back to LA, and I was like, no, there's something blooming. And then
that's good news. Like, for a split second, do you think, man, maybe I do have to quit drinking? Then you're
right.
Like, oh, no, shingles.
Yeah, for a while I started thinking, I got shingles on my head too. Right. And the doctor's like, no, you fell down drunk. I looked at your head wound very carefully. I wanted to make sure it wasn't shingles on your head. It's not. You're an alcoholic.
So what's the prognosis? It just drifts away after time? You're taking medication for this?
Yeah. I'm one of the lucky ones. You'll never hear a shingles story this fortunate for most people, because if you don't catch it in time, it can be a solid. My friend Julianne had it 2 years ago. She said it was for 19 days. It's like 2 weeks ish, 20 days, and if it just runs its course, which it just will. For a lot of people, you get this neuralgia. I think that's what it's called. It's like this deep nerve pain that can last for 2 years because of the damage it causes coming out.
Have you ever spoken so sexy from bed?
This is sexier. Why do I think that?
I mean, I'd be remiss to not. If either of you guys want to spend some time in here, but I don't.
It looks more comfortable than this seat. I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, okay, come on in, Chemda.
Yeah.
I'm
going to take off my shoes because I'm not an animal like Jeff. But we're not judging. It's a safe space.
I am an animal. You're right about that.
I feel
especially in the IKEA blonde wood futon.
I'm one of those people for whom it's more rude to take my shoes off because of how gross my feet are.
And Chemda, you came in wearing kind of what amounts to a blanket already. You came already bedded.
Yes, I understood what this podcast was about.
So you guys have been at it since 2005.
Yes.
Like you were podcasting before maybe they even had a word for it.
Honestly, yeah, there was still the iPod, and there wasn't a category on iTunes for it.
Mm-hmm. Why? How do you keep doing it? Because I was listening to your most recent episodes on the way here, and you clearly, I don't know how you started energy-wise, but you seem very happy to be doing it still and good at it.
I do have a dream to take back. We have a premium program where you hear all our shows, where you can hear everything from 13 years ago. So I want to take that first show and redo it and not tell anybody.
Just like act like it's like an adaptation, like a Gus Van Sant remake of.
They're so polished for the first show. They're not.
You guys do sound polished though. You sound like you have the right amount of like radio people in you.
I'll take right amount.
Like you're not. It would be an insult, I think, to podcasters to say you sound like radio people.
Right, but I get it. I'll take it. Yeah.
But I mean, it's like you guys are professional, is what I mean. You sound like you don't do what I do and just have people on and just talk over them.
But how great is that, though? To be able to just, what am I wearing today? Who gives a shit? Like, how fun that is.
How much do you guys plan your?
We plan probably at least 3 hours for an hour show.
So you get always right before, or do you have a meeting in the middle of the week?
We get together 3 hours before the show to prep for that with our producer, Andrea, and a couple interns sometimes. And then they prep us for the guest and also news. And then I have to fight with Keith about how many rape cases we have to talk about on the show that day.
There's a lot.
She's fascinated by weird rape
these
stories.
Are just Keith's open rape cases. Right?
I'm like, listen, what do we think?
What's Keith's angle on those cases? Is it?
He's just floored.
I am not pleased. And that's my catchphrase.
It's his version of Me Too. He's just like, I'm giving them all the attention.
Oh, is it really more like that? Is it like, hey, did you hear about this monster so and so, or is it like a true crimey kind of thing? I think
when the story's so amazing, I have to tell it, but then it's sad news. It's a woman got into the wrong car, the worst thing happens. She gets into another car for help, the worst thing happens. I'm like, I don't know. I wish somebody told me this story.
And then he looks at me and goes, and we're a comedy podcast. And I'm like, I'm supposed to find the funniest thing about this rape story that you just told me?
Yeah, and then I say, good luck. I say, and Chemda, go.
Forgive me for not knowing what your show is, because I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts. What is the
the one we should be plugging is the one that's on Starburns.
Yeah, who cares about the Keith and the girl? So we also started, because 5 shows a week wasn't enough. We started My Opening Line, and that's where we talk to artists and comedians about the very first humiliating times on stage.
Okay. Oh, so that's not the one that's been going since 2005.
The one since 2005 is Keith and the Girl. That's 5 days a week. It's mostly a comedy show, but we will talk about Cosby being found guilty, this kind of thing.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun. And
sad, because he's a hero when you're a kid,
right.
And then also you find out he's been a villain since we were kids.
Right. And I was talking to Hannibal Buress, the person that did the stand-up that got everything started.
Yeah. And hooray for him on that one.
Hooray for him. He doesn't like it, though, because he's afraid he's being seen as that's the person, when meanwhile he has jokes. But I'm like, who cares? You're a superhero. You'll get your jokes in there. I don't know. I think it would be great to...
It's not his favorite thing to be associated directly with that.
Yeah,
I can imagine. But he still provided a service.
Yes. And all this teaches, too, is that, yes, when you're at a comedy club, record the show. You don't know what they're going to say. Right? If some asshole wasn't there with their phone...
Jeff can't tell if you're serious or not.
I honestly don't know if I am or not. I just saw The Big Sick.
Yes, we wouldn't know if Kramer was racist.
Right. I watched The Big Sick, and, the guy's doing stand-up, and then there's a heckler in the audience. Well, long story short, they fall in love. What am I learning? Heckle, take out your phone. Do whatever you want. Yes.
You know what I want to know?
Do what you want.
Do what you want.